Hey guys, what's happening? Just Jordy at Carving Fusion here. I'm going to try and explain something the easiest way I can explain. I'm like you guys, I'm a new carver too. So every spirit I do, I'm always learning as well. Anything I carve, whatever, I'm always learning. That's the way that's the way life goes, I guess. And if you don't think you're learning, well, then I think you might have some issues. But here's something easily for me to try and explain to you. This is a big piece of driftwood I got. I think it's Douglas fir. This is pretty well hardwood for when I'm using my Dremel flex shaft or my Fordham. It's not hardwood for my chainsaws because those things rip like butter, like a hot knife in butter, eh? But see how this is more of a flat surface than this piece of cottonwood here? See how it's nice and round, right? This is almost the softest wood that you can carve. It's better for somebody, a really rookie carver, to start on something like this. Pretend this piece here is just a round branch, okay? It's easier to start on something like this because then you already have a high point here. You know what I mean? That would be my high point right there. So it's easier to make your nose stick out farther. And you got the round part of the cottonwood bark here. And it's like round like a face already. It's already rounded for you. Like a branch would be. Start off with little carvings. When you got a big piece like this, okay, for example, like I said in my other carvings, I think the most important part of your carving is the nose placement. So this piece here, it's going to have a small little nose, right? This one here, if you make a small little nose, you're going to have a small little carving. So the bigger the piece of wood that you have, make a bigger nose. Common sense, right? You know, because then you can use these edges for your beard to wrap around. You can make the whole piece a wood spirit. This is for Shane in the UK. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The flatter the piece of wood you have, the harder it's going to be to carve a wood spirit, because you'll have to carve way deeper into there, way deeper down here, way deeper into everywhere to make it look more realistic looking. This, I don't have to, I don't have to carve that deep. So let me draw my center line here, okay? Always start with a center line. Go all the way down. You're going to carve that pen mark away. Start off with a pencil too. I've done like 3,000 of these things by now, so I can use pen. Let's see if this guy's going to have a forehead. Yeah, let's give a forehead. Okay. Put him a nose in there. The nose is the most important part of the placement, I think. Give him some eyes. Whatever, I'm just sketching it on just to show you an example. Okay, so you see here, it's all rounded down here. So his mustache is going to go down the side, right? And then it's going to go down this side. You know what I mean? Look how round it is. It's already... I'm going to cut the forehead in deep and cut it all out. I'll show you. But does that make sense to you? This is round. It's already round. It's easier to carve a wood spirit and you don't have to carve as deep. This is flat. You're going to have to carve deep to make that round effect. You know what I mean? The deeper you carve it, if you carve this line, this forehead in that deep, you're going to have the round effect. But if you don't carve it deep and just carve like that much, the whole piece is going to look flat. So, 2 suggestions for this video. Find a round branch to carve. It doesn't have to be cottonwood. Okay? Don't carve on a flat piece of wood to start. And be real. So I'm going to carve this piece here. The last video I made, my filming was all screwed up, so didn't work out too well. I just kind of showed you finishing touches. Today, once again, I'm going to be using the Dremel Flex shaft with a 1/8 Kutzall bit. And I'll be using, cleaning up the whiskers with this, what's it called, emery cloth with a 1/8 nut and bolt. Somebody on YouTube gave me a good idea to double up these screws. So I've done that on this piece so it doesn't come undone. And thank you for that suggestion. I think it's going to work great. And I'm going to be doing the whiskers with these Roto Zips, man. They're wicked. They work. They cut through bone. They cut through everything. And I'm going to do the whiskers with these. I think I paid $40 for 4 of them at Home Depot, and it's worth the money. Like $10 a burr, and these things last forever too. Let's see if I got one out of the pack here. Okay, that's what I'm going to cut the whiskers in with. So, Dremel Flex shaft, Kutzall bit, Roto Zip to do the whiskers, this emery cloth on this nut and bolt to go in my Dremel Flex shaft to clean up all the hairy parts. And come on guys, we don't like those hairy things. And I might be doing some sanding with my sander here. This is a Dremel 90-degree bit on a flex shaft, hook and loop sandpaper on a 2-inch bit. You can order this thing on eBay. Just type in a 2-inch hook and loop sanding pad. I got videos how I make these discs. My good friend Pete showed, he made a hole punch, 2-inch hole punch, and I can just punch these discs out myself. Saves me lots of money, but that's in another video. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking here because frick, I'm running out of time. Okay, so we're all set up to start carving, okay? And I don't know, lots of my subscribers noticed if I got monetized. I don't plan on getting rich from it. I thought I would try to apply for it. I didn't expect to get accepted, but I did. Because like I swear in some of my videos, so I'm just going with the flow. And if you guys don't like the ads, I'm sorry about that, but I got a great job. Carving's just my hobby. Art is a great outlet for anybody that's struggling with any problems in their life. Go to the dollar store, buy some cheap paintbrushes, buy a cheap canvas, and just start painting. You'll see what I mean. You get lost in the art, and it gets rid of everything negative in your life. This world's not getting any better, and there's so much negativity going on there. That's why I do so much carving, to get away from it all. Spend a lot of time on my own, and I got a great group of friends, tons of friends. I got a great group of support, and that's what you need too. You just have to do it. You can't keep thinking about doing it. Just do it. If you can go afford to buy a Dremel, go buy a Dremel. Start off with the shitty little burrs from those kits that you get. Not Dremel. Dremel's tools are pretty good, but like the cheap stuff. Buy a knockoff Dremel. Buy like one of those $30 or $40 ones on Amazon. Just do it. Don't think about it, because thinking about it's just kind of a waste of time. Do it, people. Just do something. Okay, whatever, I'll shut up. Okay, so once again, I'm going to, is it the camera there? Yeah. I'm going to carve my total outlines out. I'm going to carve all the outlines outside of the line. Let me turn my Dremel up here. Full throttle, boys and girls, full throttle. This is hooked up to a foot pedal, so I can control the speed. See, barely touch the pedal, full throttle. You beginning carvers out there, if you get a Dremel, don't do full throttle like me. You're gonna break your tools. I always cut really deep beside the tip of the nose. See how deep that is in there? Now I'm going to cut this part out. Okay? You see how it being round, I don't have to cut that deep because it's already lower at this point. Trust me. So I got all there cut out. Okay. See how deep that is in there? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve all this away. Okay? It will make, and I'm going to cut all this back, feather it out, right? That cut there. Always get rid of your cut mark. You cut bumps or anything, cut lines. But once I take this back, you'll see how much it raises the nose. Okay, see how much that nose is raised now off the mustache? Let me cut these cheeks lower too. And when you cut your eyes, I always cut myself, if I'm not going to use eyeballs, I always cut under the eyebrow. Okay, not here like a big round thing, hole thing down here. I cut under the eyebrow because it leaves your hole not as big for the eyes to go, you know, it's kind of like a whimsical thing. But right now I'm going to carve all this stuff away, feather it out on both sides, and my cheekbones are going to be lower. I'm going to carve this lower too, carve it so my eyebrows are raised up higher than my cheekbones. Okay, so you can see how that's raised higher than my cheekbones now, right? Now just let me do carving for a minute here and touch everything up so we can keep everything on track. And try and do, so I just did this side of the cheekbone, now I'm going to do this side. Try and do everything equal. Do this side, then do this side, right? 1, 2. Don't do this, then this, then this, then this. Keep everything nice and equal. If you're really freshly learning, it's going to be hard to get into here, but don't be afraid to flip your piece upside down to have a look, because you can tell if everything's symmetrical that way too. Feather your cuts away. Feather it out. I know I repeat myself and you're getting tired of hearing me say feather it out, but it's very important. Take your times, okay? So since we lost that mustache line, see all the cuts, everything's raised up. Look how nice that nose is, right? It's the highest part in the human face is the nose. It sticks out the farthest, right? Okay, so we're gonna have to redraw our mustache back on. Don't be afraid to redraw things back on. Like carve it out and then redraw it back on. So let's carve all this, and then we're gonna carve it deep in there. So that will be his lip. And we're gonna feather all this stuff out, right? All this carving. Make it lower than the mustache. Sure makes life a lot easier when you're hooked up to a foot pedal, that's for sure. And like I said, don't rush your carving just like I do, because you're gonna break tools. This girl I've been talking to quite regularly on Vancouver Island, she loves wood carvings, and she convinced herself to order a knockoff Dremel on Amazon because she wants to start carving. But hey Diane, I haven't seen you started any carvings. So this is just a shout out to you saying hello, and put that Dremel to use, because when I come over to Vancouver Island, if you're not using it, I'm taking it. The knockoff Dremels are only 40 bucks, and it's perfect just for when you're starting, you know what I mean? Like, don't go spend crazy money on tools, because you might start it, you might not like it. I think it makes sense, right? Okay, back on track here. So when you're carving, this is all in my opinion too, by the way. When you're carving down here in the mouth, see how deep I got it in there? Carve the mouth so it's kind of in line with this cheek, right? You want everything to be proportionate, right? So like a face. Kind of goes down here. And then the mouth would be right about there on the inside. So yeah, I think I'm a pretty good spot. So let's carve that mouth in. It's going to be an open mouth, like a wood spear blowing in the wind kind of. You can make them so they have. You can make them so they have teeth too. Whatever you want to do. It's your creation. And the biggest thing for me about carving and art is when I first started painting and carving and stuff like that, I cared too much what people thought. Now, I don't give a shit. I do it for me. You know, it's a rehabilitation for me. Gets me away from all the negative stuff, and I carve for me. I'm lucky enough now, I'm starting to sell lots of carvings. Do you know what I mean? So do it for you. And just like Shane there in the UK, that first wood spirit that you carved, yeah, I think it's pretty damn good for your first piece. But don't throw it away or burn it. Put it out in your garden. You know what I mean? Somebody will come along, see it, and they'll be like, hey, that's friggin' cool. You'll be like, what the hell? They think that thing's cool? But no, just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people won't like it. You should see some of the carvings that I've sold. Okay, so you can see I got the bottom lip cut in. Got the bottom, it's pretty hollow, deep in there. I got the bottom lip cut in. So let me try and point this out too. Always try and separate your mustache from your lip. Like cut deeper in there so you don't see the lip riding up on the mustache, right? See how I cut deeper in there? The lip and the mustache are separated. And see that little mark there? How it kind of comes down like that? I'm going to cut that out too. Separate it all. Make the lip look completely separate than everything else. Basically just make make it look proportionate. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my eye sockets in, right? Okay, eye socket time. I'm going to cut real deep in there. Underneath, try and get underneath the eyebrow, but don't go on a 45. Don't go too much that way, because your eyebrow will be too thin and it will break off. And then I'm going to cut down this nose bridge. I'm going to bring it down to about here. On both sides. Then my eyebrows. And I'm going to cut here to make my eyebrows raised off the forehead. Okay, eye socket number 1. See how deep that is in there? Eye socket number 2. Okay, now I'm going to cut down in between the eyebrows and bring the bridge of the nose down like we talked about. And there goes the nose. Cottonwood bark. I know I could glue this piece on, but I don't have time. So I'm going to have to make everything deeper. Bring everything. That's with carving any types of art. Sometimes you just have to readjust. I'm going to cut this down deeper here. The deeper your carving is into the wood, the cooler it's going to look anyways. Take some of this mustache down. Okay, you see how I did that? I just readjusted everything. Okay, let's cut our eyebrows and hopefully they don't shale off like the nose did. See, I'm carving upside down. Feather it away. Smooth that out so it's a nice transition. Okay. See how I readjusted everything? The nose isn't sticking out that far anymore because it broke off, but it doesn't matter. Every wood spirit can be different. And I gotta carve in there more too. You can see that? Let's do that now. While I remember. Here's a huge tip too. When you're carving something, set it back. You know, if you smoke, have a smoke. If you have a coffee, have a coffee, have a pop. Set it back, look at it, stare at it, and try and figure out how you can make it better. Okay, so his forehead's going to be right here. And there's is going to be his cheekbone. Okay, so I'm going to cut this really deep. multiple passes, guys. Don't jab it in there like I do. It's just screaming, this sucker. She rips. Okay, let's do a cheekbone. Good. So you can see how far I carved this. How deep that cut is in there. It's pretty damn deep. So now this whole area, I'm gonna, let's see if I can cut it this way. So the forehead goes down into the wood. So it doesn't stick out, you know what I mean? Looks like some kind of alien thing, but I'm gonna cut it. So here's what it is now. I'm gonna cut this piece in there so it's like shaped in there. The deeper you cut this part, the better the forehead will look. This thing's still filming? Wow, we're at 20 minutes. Round everything off. So when you're doing cottonwood, you get pieces like this flying off, right? This is his old nose, but a big chunk just flew off there too. So you have to be careful of this eyebrow flying off. Yeah, piece just fly off. It's okay though. It just, when things fly off and things don't work out as planned, it's okay though, because you have to practice at making them better. Practice, 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 people. Well, I can hear that once it fly off. Just keep adjusting. Yeah, I'm pretty good with that so far. Let's get the broom and sweep all this stuff down to the table. So now I'm going to cut all this edge away. See, there's an edge there. I'm going to cut it all away. I'm going to leave this edge up here. That mark there is where I'm going to be cutting away. They can also, the beard, when it comes down, it will just run off fluent, right? You can't get the beard to come off, go over a bump and around, right? So I'm going to cut her all down, make her fluent. Friggin' nose. Okay, let's cut some age lines under these eyes here. Everybody has their own way of doing it. You'll find your own way. Cut the nostrils in. Really fragile when you're working with the nose. There's not much there, so the nostrils. Cut this a bit deeper. just go around touching things up. Okay, so I think that's pretty good for the basic carving stuff. I don't know, what do you guys think? Forehead's bigger than the nose, but that's okay. They all have their own character. See, I cut the nostrils in there. This guy kind of looks like it's his army helmet, eh? Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the that Rotozip bit that I was telling you guys about earlier. Where is it? I don't know. Let's just put a new one on. Brand new Rotozip. This is what I'm going to cut the whiskers in with. Okay. Newer. Okay, so I'll draw, I don't normally need to draw on my whiskers, but I'll draw a few on just so you see how I do it. So this guy's beard is going to be coming down, right? Not with the wind, it's a straight beard. So let's just kind of put a couple, use a pencil guys, put a couple lines in there, and this guy's beard's going to be coming down, right? Put a few things in there. Okay. You don't have to use the Rotozip to do your cuts. You know, if you have smaller burrs like, let's see here, like this saber tooth, you could use stuff like this too. I just like the Rotozip. There's all sorts of different burrs you can use too. Look at this little tiny one. Oops, sorry. That's a little tiny steelworking burr. You can order on Amazon, and those are wicked for detail too. The more different types of burrs you have when you're carving, the better, because then you'll have your go-to burr. You know what I mean? And you'll learn what they work for over time. Cross your hairs, guys. Okay, so this needs to connect with this, so I'm going to do a couple lines here. Make sure it all connects, you know what I mean? Same angle. See my straight cuts in here? Just straight cuts. Now I've seen some of you guys practice crossing them over. But you don't cross it over like bam, bam. You just go nice and gradual. Blend it in, you know what I mean? Nice and slow, not just cross it over. Aggressive. Be nice and, whatever. Nice and slow. Nice, slow, gradual crossover. And not in the same spots. Do them on different areas. The more slots you have for your beard hairs or mustache hairs, the better it's going to look. Okay, so let's just cross it over nice and slow. Nice and slow. Okay, cross them all over now. And cross them over. This beard's going this way, right? So cross them over that way. Keeps everything fluid. Okay, you see that? What did that take me? 2 minutes? So let's do the mustache now too. So this mustache is coming down this way, obviously, duh. So bring some of your hairs, like make a few ones coming down the side, like the wind's taking them off the side. Put some down straight down the middle, but then bring them up and over from here, right? So it's pulling the mustache up and over. Same with that side, so it would be the opposite, right? Take these off the side, and then bring them up and over, up and over. Touch things up. This guy needs the beard here too, right? Try and get rid of your pen marks. Just slightly rough over. Okay, let's give him some age lines in his forehead. I'm not going to carve his eyebrows, his eyebrow hairs in, because this is pretty fragile stuff and I think it's going to chip off. Go around touching everything up, you know what I mean? Make the lines more identifiable. Okay? So on the cottonwood bark or whatever, I always carve a little hole in the back for people to hang it. Put my initial there. Okay. What do you think, guys? I think she looks pretty damn all right. I'm gonna hook up the, I gotta clean in there a bit. Let me do that fast. This video's taking too long, but whatever, man. It should take long so I don't rush things. The saber-tooth bit here I'm putting in. Great for cleaning things out. Where's my foot pedal? This bit's nowhere near as aggressive as the cut saw. Okay. Let's get rid of this bit. I don't like those chucks that go on here where you don't need the wrench to change the bits because they're heavier. I got like 3 of them. but because they're heavier on this turning bit, right, it adds more weight to the flex shaft, and I think it puts more pressure on the inside flex shaft. So I just keep it old school and simple. Okay, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, let's try out this friggin' this new sounding kind of thing I got here. Oh, it works just great to get rid of that little fuzzies and smoothing it. Cheers. This cottonwood's so soft, it's almost like it's sanding the cottonwood. Buy softwood when you first start carving, guys. Believe me. Like, look how fast I carved this. And I'd sell this one for 40 bucks. If I wanted to, I'd carve another wood spirit here too, and another one here. But I don't even think I'm gonna stain this one. And to all of you that have watched the full video, just give me a second, let me shut off my fan. I had to shut off the dust collector. But to all of you that have watched this full video, you know, my last giveaway was on, I made it so you had to like the picture on Instagram, but some of you don't have Instagram. So just leave a comment on this video on YouTube. Give it a thumbs up. You have to be subscribed to the page, absolutely. And this sucker, I'm going to give this away too on YouTube. Live video April 30th as well, but this is just for my YouTube subscribers. I'm not going to stain it, I'm not going to oil it, I'm just going to leave it the exact way it is. So it's a good replica for you to try and follow when you do your wood spirits. You know, thanks for everything, guys, and it makes me really happy to be able to help you, you know what I mean? Like I said, the world's not getting any better, and it's a good outlet for me to spend my time on trying to help people, right? My goal is for my YouTube channel, is to travel the world, maybe a couple different spots a year, and get lessons from different amazing carvers, you know, and do YouTube videos on it. How cool would that be? You know what I mean? My favorite thing, and will always favorite thing to be able, is do the wood spirits. But like in Asia there, some of those carvers, the dragons and all the stuff that do is just freaking amazing. And that's my goal. So maybe the videos on my, the commercials on my thing might help a bit. I don't know. I don't expect to make much money. But you never know what happens. And so this will be drawn April 30th too on my YouTube channel. Like I said, you have to leave a comment, you have to like it, and you have to be subscribed to my page. It's just kind of the way it is. And sharing the video wouldn't hurt either. Okay, guys, so thanks. There it is. This piece I'd sell for maybe 40, 50 bucks. Cottonwood bark. Hashtag be friggin' real.